Ollie.
So basically, this video is a different sort of video. I haven't made one of these before. Basically, I got a solo win, I mean a duo win, and we played the game pretty tactically. So I'm going to show you the match and have commentary over it so that you guys can maybe find some tips off this and be able to copy what we did and get your own first duo wins or your second duo wins or just, get a duo win. So, yeah, start the video.
Okay, so the first thing you want to think about is where you're going to land. You want to land somewhere which will give you good loot and there won't be much combat when you first land. So not so much something like Tilted Towers, more somewhere like Snobby Shores. We also decided to go into the same house as each other so that if one of us needed help or like was being shot at, the other one could come help. This is a perfect example. If he had died from that battle or was knocked out from that battle, I could have just run down the stairs, finished the guy off, and revived him.
Another thing you must always remember to do is always heal up after battles. Even just a teeny bit of health could be the difference between being killed and being the one who gets the kills. We only had a campfire, and even though we could have saved it till later on in the game, just to secure our path to the end game, we made sure we used it straight away just to heal up just that little bit of health that DJ had lost. At this point, we actually heard some people walking downstairs, so while DJ just healed up, I just stood there waiting by the stairs, looking at all the different entrances, trying to figure out where that person was. If you look closely at how I killed the guy who came up the stairs, you can see that I was moving left and right constantly. Again, I was remembering to drink the mini shields just to try to get that extra bit of health that could save my life. We saw that the guy didn't get knocked down but was eliminated straight away, and that tells us that he didn't have any teammates, so we just carried on looting the rest of Snobby Shores before we had to leave because of the circle. As I was looting, on my way to each house, I was remembering to mine trees just to get those resources, because if you want to last in endgame, you're going to need a base. Even though DJ opened this chest and this was his loot, because we're playing duos and I needed that extra bit of health from that slurp juice, he decided to share the loot. So remember, if you're in a duos, you need to share the loot so that both of you have the best chance of surviving. At this point, we looked at the map and realised that the storm was coming in, and as soon as we had looted the whole of Snobby Shores, we decided we may as well head towards the circle. Notice how DJ was constantly following me. This is because at the start of the match we decided that I would be the leader and he would always follow me and only engage in combat if I engaged in it. We did this because the easiest way to die in a duo match is to be picked off one by one because you're far away from each other or you're on the other side of the hill, so the other duo can't see both of you, and basically the other person just isn't there in time to save the first person who's being shot at. We saw a supply drop behind the tree, and seeing as I was the leader, I decided that we should go for it, and so he came with me for protection. The reason why we were heading away from where the supply drop was, even though we were going to collect the supply drop, is because we weren't sure whether other people had eyes on the supply drop and knew where it was and were using it as bait. So we would stand back, wait to see if anyone else was going to the supply drop. If no one else went to the supply drop, like 5 seconds after it landed, then we would advance and try to open it as fast as possible and get out of the area before anyone sniped us. When we opened the supply drop, we noticed that there was a scar inside. We also noticed that DJ had better weapons than me, so we decided that I should have the scar. At this point we saw that the storm was almost touching the circle, so we checked our maps to see where. As soon as we saw that the circle was quite far away from our position, we decided to head over there as fast as possible to get the highest ground and find the best position to build our base to be able to kill the other team easiest. Once we saw some high ground on top of a hill that we thought would be perfect to build our base on, we straight away decided to build up to it. Annoyingly, I fell down on the way up, so I had to go round again to get back up. When we saw the supply drop and we decided to go for the supply drop, we tried to build our base where the supply drop was so that the supply drop would land in our base as we were building it. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to do this and we didn't want to get sniped, so we decided to just build our base somewhere else and maybe end up getting the supply drop by jumping out of our base later on. We then changed our mind and actually went back to the supply drop, but soon remembered why we didn't go for it in the first place, and that's that all the loot fell down the hill. DJ looked around and saw that nobody had eyes on us and decided to go down for the loot because he needed the chug jug. At this point I actually see another base being built, so just to see if I can get any small little shots on with my scoped AR, I just sit there looking at the base. I try to move around a little bit while aiming down my sights at the base so that nobody can actually snipe me from another position. At this point we realised that the new ring isn't actually on our base, so we have at the back of our minds the idea of having to move bases and just wait for an opportunity to do so. They started to shoot at us, and so we realised that we should probably get moving from the storm now. I know the other team knows exactly where we are, so notice how as I'm running I'm holding my materials so that I can easily just create a wall if they start getting shots on me. We tried to make a base, another base, but we noticed that it kept being shot down, so just to try to annoy the other team I was desperately trying to create as many layers as possible and just keep rebuilding the layers as they shot them down. Unfortunately it was extremely hard to block away the bullets because I'm pretty sure they had a minigun. Noticing that they had stopped firing with the minigun, I tried to peek my head and just try to get as many shots on them as possible. Maybe use up their healables or just try to get a little bit of health down on them so that when we tried to fight them close range or they started shooting at us properly and we were in a proper battle, we were able to kill them a lot faster, I guess. At this point we actually look at how many people are left and we realise that seeing as we're in duos there must be at least one more duo. So we start trying to find out where that duo is so they can't surprise us. We guess they might be in the little base, so we run over to the little base. As I jumped in to the little base I actually heard footsteps, so I realised that these guys were trying to camp out until the last few people just by hiding underneath their base. I call over DJ to try to tell him that the people are in the base so that we can easily take them out and just, minimise the possibility that they could actually kill me. Although we killed the other team easily without taking much damage, this fighting caused the other player to look over at us and start shooting, and he actually knocked me out. And even though I felt the temptation to make Danny revive me so that there's zero chance of him being killed and us losing, I decided that he could actually be killed while trying to revive me and it'd be safer to just try to kill the final guy. At this point of time I actually hadn't looked at how many players were left, and I didn't know that this guy didn't have a teammate. I thought he had a teammate. So actually, when I realised he didn't have a teammate and I realised he was the only person left, I just shouted at Danny and I was like, Danny, he's the last person left. Just don't die. If you don't die, we've got to win. And so that gave him enough confidence to kill the guy, and we got a win for Danny. I think it was his first win. Okay guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want me to do more, hit that like button. If this helped you, then go in the comments and tell me it helps you. And if you want more and you want to see even more of my videos, I do streams every Saturday, Fortnite streams every Saturday, and I'll probably be doing another video like this. Next one maybe squads, it might be solos, might be duos, and I'll just give you more and more tips once a week. Probably it'll probably be a weekly series, but only if you hit that like button and you subscribe. So